Hello and welcome to the Sonia Gaming channel. It has been a year since I last played this game, but with the new release of the Sola DLC, I thought it would be a good idea to revisit. I'll go over the two new DLC, House and Sola, to see if they are worth returning to. My name is Sonia and I will take you along as I experience the painful return to this game. For gameplay and controls, as mentioned before, this game does have native support for a controller. Can use it without any additional configuration. Co-ops also returns in this time, allowing player to play with each other. The mechanic to join another game is smooth and hassle-free. Would definitely give this a 10 if it is in its own category. Before continuing on to the actual content, I wanted to add that I returned to a blank game without any progress saved. Apparently, I am one of the many victims of this issue. I never signed into pros at the first time I played through the game, as I saw there was no need to do so, and there was no obvious instruction or warning telling me to do it to keep my progress. Despite having cloud sync option on for the Epic launcher that worked for every other games I played, my save was gone after the multiple PC reimage. This was a very unpleasant surprise as I now must progress through the entire original game again, which made it tedious with all the mind-numbingly quest chains I have to complete. So learn from my mistake and sign in and sync your game to Pro's website, or risk losing all of your progress. Anyway, I'll end my rant here. The House DLC adds fresh content, including new quests, areas, and enemies. If you enjoy the base game, this expansion provides additional gameplay experiences. The enemies in the DLC scale to your level, ensuring that the challenge remains relevant regardless of your character's progression. Whether you're a seasoned survivor or just starting out, the difficulties adapts to your abilities. I also noticed a new skill card that will increase the difficulties of your regular zombie, making them much sturdier and harder to kill. House introduced a new cool crossbow weapon which can be a fun addition to your arsenal. Honestly, any crossbow or bow in any video games is overpowered, and I can say the same for this one. The only minus I can give it is that you cannot pick up the bolts after using it. For the graphic, it is definitely where this game shines and maybe the only redeeming quality it has. Even in the original game, the graphic was pretty, and if you crank it high enough, it is definitely worthy of being in the zombie eye candy category. For the 2 DLC, especially Sola, they actually improved on the visuals. For the lighting and shadows, the game features more realistic lighting and dynamic shadows, creating a more immersive experience. Sunsets, moonlights, and indoor environments are particularly well rendered. Textures for the character, the environment, and objects have been upgraded, resulting in crisper and more detailed visuals. Blood spatter, explosions, and other particle effects are more convincing and impactful. The world also feels much more alive with the improved foliage, debris, and environment. Character models have been refined with better facial expression and more natural movements. However, there are still scenes where their face have zero expressions and they seem completely lifeless. This tells me that the dev took the lazy road and simply breezed through it with the bare minimum effort. As for weapon effects, the gore and dismemberment effects when using weapons are more realistic and satisfying. Melee weapon leave visible mark on enemies, and firearm have better muzzle flashes and impact effects. Last but not least, the dev have worked on optimizing the performance of the game, ensuring smoother frame rates and fewer glitches. Value for the money. Considering that each of these DLC is around $15 and you get a few hours of gameplay out of them at most, I will not be recommending getting these DLCs. Unless you are an avid collector of all the weapons or a diehard fan of the series, or if you have the deluxe edition, in which case the DLC will be free, I do not believe this is a good value. For replay, Solar offer different story paths and outcomes based on the player's choices. This encourages players to replay the game to experience alternative endings. There are also a wide variety of new side quests if one wishes to spend more time grinding at the senseless quests. Additional trophies are also available for those who enjoy collecting them. However, I do not enjoy collecting trophies just to have them. Running from point A to point B to deliver quests seems pretty repetitive and boring to me. With an overall score of 54 out of 100, I believe that Dead Island 2, House, and Sola are definitely not worth returning to. The overall gameplay is polished, but the new content seems like a quick afterthought from the dev to make some quick money. Additionally, despite being hardcore fans of zombie and post-apocalyptic games, I find returning to this game and playing it a chore. Losing my save files mean that I had to return to playing the original game again to get decent levels and weapons to start the DLC. I find myself playing it mindlessly and wanted to skip most of the cutscenes. This speaks volume of the replay value of the original game. In addition, this game always made me feel exhausted after playing long sessions, so unless you can catch this game for cheap, I will not be recommending this game at all. It takes a lot of effort to put together videos like this, so if you find it helpful, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It would help us a lot. You can check out my original review of this game in the top right corner there, and also check out our other videos on the channel. With that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.